So next we look at this question number 4. It's a just you can say the next step of what we have done till now. Three charges, each of value small q, are placed at the corner of an equilateral triangle. So this time you have an equilateral triangle and on the corners A, B and C. Once again you have got three charges of value small q. And this equilateral triangle has each side may be represented as R. Now these charge small q are placed independently on the corner of an equilateral triangle. They are not tied up, they are not fixed. So obviously they will move away from each other. Each of them will be experiencing two forces. A will be experiencing a force FB here and will be experiencing a force FC here. Similarly, B will be experiencing a force FA here and will be experiencing a force FC here. Similarly, C will be experiencing a force FA here and will be experiencing a force FB here. So all the three charges are actually experiencing some force, and because of it they should move away, they should fly away. But the situation is, in order to make them balance, there is a fourth charge capital Q placed at center of the triangle. So just imagine that at the centroid of this triangle, we are keeping a fourth charge capital Q. And if each side of the triangle, equilateral triangle, is R, then this gap centroid is R by root 3 that we know. Now first part is, if Q is equal to minus Q, will the charges at the corner, if this capital Q, if capital Q is minus Q, what do you think? These charges A, B, C will fly away or will move in? What will happen? Or will be at balance? And second part, for what value of Q will the charge remain stationary? For what value of capital Q all the charges will be stationary? For capital Q, I can say it is always going to be stationary, because there will be A will be, if it is minus, if it is negative, then A will be pulling it, B will be pulling it, and it's a symmetric distribution. The net force at the center will be obviously 0. For any symmetric distribution, maybe triangle, maybe rectangle, maybe square, net force at center would be 0. So question here is, what should be capital Q? What should be the value of capital Q for which small q are all balanced? So one thing is clear, among this FC, FB or FA, FA or FB or FC will have same value, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q square by R square. And at the same time, there will be a force of attraction. If this is negative, then there should be a force of attraction. And the resultant of these, there will be a resultant force here. So for balance, if I show separately A, if I'm just talking about A, there should be a net force here of FC and FB, and there is an attractive force, and they should be balanced. Now what is F net? F net should be force of attraction. F net stand for root of, how much is going to be this angle? In an equilateral triangle, each angle will be 120 degree. So F net will be root of F B square plus F C square plus 2 FB FC cos 120 is equal to force of attraction, and it is going to be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q, capital Q. This is certain, capital Q has to be negative, by R by root 3 square. Now this is FA is equal to FB is equal to FC. So I will get it F square plus f square, and this is cos 120 is minus half. So this is 2 f square into minus half is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r by root 3 square. So this is plus f square. So this is going to be f root 3, which is actually 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q square by r square into root 3 is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q capital Q into 3 by r square. Now what are balanced here? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught get balanced, r square get cut, q get cut. So we are finally getting q is equal to q into root 3 as 3q. So value of q will be q by root 3, and obviously the negative sign that we know, it has to be negative. So we have that final outcome. If we want this system to be at balance, it means net force on this should be 0, net force on this should be 0, net force on this should be 0. Then the value of capital Q should be minus q by root 3. So from this conclusion, I once again look at the question. The question was, you have 3 charges and each charge has a value q, q and q. And at the center, at the centroid, you have a charge here minus q. That q has a value minus q by root 3. Question was, if instead of, in this condition everything is at balance, but if instead of this as minus q by root 3, if it was minus q, what will happen? So our answer is, in that case there will be net force, because this is more than what is required. So in that case there will be a net force here, there will be a net force here, there will be a net force here. All the 3 charges will tend to move inward. So all the 3 charges would tend to move inward, and for system to be at balance, the value of q should be minus q by root 3. Now looking at this part of the question, how much work is done in removing the charges to infinity? So assume that balanced situation where you have charge q, charge q, charge q, and here you have a charge q which is actually minus q by root 3. How much work is done in removing these charges to infinity? Now I want to take all of them to infinity. It means final potential energy we want to be 0. We want all of them to be at infinity of the whole system. I need to get how much work is done, so I need to know first what is the potential energy at this moment. Potential energy at this moment will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into. First, when we say potential energy, it means all combination, and all combination will be q square by, this is r, q square by r, because it is q1 q2 divided by r. So it is q square by r plus q square by r plus q square by r. This is q square by r plus q square by r plus q square by r plus q into minus q by root 3 by r by root 3 plus q into minus q by root 3 by r by root 3 plus q into minus q by root 3 by r by root 3. I hope you are getting it. All combination. Now this root 3 get cancel here, and it is also minus q square by r. So initial potential energy is what? 0, and final potential energy is what? 0. So what work is required? So work required will be obviously u final minus initial. It means no work is required to take them, the whole system, all charges infinite distant apart from this. What is the situation given in this question number 4? Question number 5 is once again, it's an IIT question, but you will find it interesting. 3 point charges small q, 2q and 8q placed on a 9 centimeter long straight wire. So, straight line. So, you have a long straight line which is having a whole length 9 centimeter, and there 3 charges. Here it is said there is a charge plus 2q placed, and on this edge there is a charge 8q placed. There is another charge q which is placed somewhere in between. Find position where the charges should be placed such that potential energy of this system should be minimum. So, we want to place them in a way that potential energy of this system is minimum. So, for example, we have taken, okay, let us assume that this charge small q was kept at a distance x from here and at a distance 9 minus x centimeter from here. What will be the potential energy of the system? So, potential energy of the system in this case will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught all combination. So, it will become 2q into q divided by x and into 10 to the power minus 2 plus this and this q into 8q divided by 9 minus x into 10 to the power minus 2 plus for this and this all combination 2q into 8q divided by 9 into 10 to the power minus 2 q1 q2 by r. So, in that situation the potential energy will be 9 into 10 to the power 7, 10 to the power 2 we can take. So, 9 into 10 to the power 11, 9 into 10 to the power 11 here into 2q square by x plus 8q square by 9 minus x plus 16q square by 9. This is the potential energy. Even I can take q square out. So, the potential energy in this state is 9q square into 10 to the power 11 into 2x to the power minus 1 plus 8 into 9 minus x to the power minus 1 plus 16 by 9. This is the potential energy at any time when in a position we have randomly placed these charges. Question is, where the charges should be placed so that potential energy is minimum? So, what is the condition of minimum potential energy? The condition of minima is u du by d. What we require minima is potential energy, and what is variable is x should be 0. This is condition of minima. So, I use this here and using this, let's differentiate it. du by dx should be 0. So, I am differentiating it. I will say t2 into dx to the power minus 1 by dx, because this will become 0, plus 8 into d into 9 minus x to the power minus 1 by dx plus d 16 by 9 by dx should be 0. Now, 16 by 9 is a constant, its differentiation will be 0. So, 0 is equal to 2 into minus 1 x to the power minus 2 plus 8. Here we will do by chain rule. It will be d 9 minus x to the power minus 1 by d9 minus x into d9 minus x by dx. Rest it is going to be 0. So 0 is equal to minus 2 by x square, and here 8 into minus 1, 9 minus x to the power minus 2 into, then d9 by dx will be 0 and dx by dx. So you are getting 2 by x square is equal to minus 8 by 9 minus x whole square into 0 minus 1. So 2 by x square is 8 by 9 minus x whole square. It goes 4 times. So you are getting 9 minus x whole square is equal to 4x square. So you will be getting 9 minus x is equal to 2x. 9 is equal to 3x. X is equal to 3 centimeter. It means for potential energy of this system to be minimum, x should be 3 centimeter here, and here it should be 6 centimeter. That's how they should be placed, so that you will get the minimum potential energy of this system. So this was question number 5 for you.